we're going to take away your visa. And once you've lost your visa, you're no longer legally in the United States, and we have a right, like every country in the world has a right, to remove you from our country. So it's just that simple. I think it's crazy. I think it's stupid for any country in the world to welcome people into their country that are going to go to your universities as visitors. They're visitors. And say, I'm going to your universities to start a riot. I'm going to your universities to take over a library and harass people. I don't care what movement you're involved in. Why would any country in the world allow people to come and disrupt? Now, we gave you a visa to come and study and get a degree, not to become a social activist that tears up our university campuses.
You know, keeping things in perspective really helps you keep your emotions out of things and helps you focus on facts. So when you hear people protesting 300 international students losing their visas, having them revoked, being picked up by ICE and being deported from the United States, wow, that sounds like so much. But did you realize that there are this many international students in America in 2023, 2024, over 1 million studying in America in 2024 school year? That is an all-time high. Now, let's go back to the facts. 300 have lost their visas out of over 1 million. Now tell me, how is this a constitutional crisis, or is this baseless attacks against innocent students for their opinions? Hey everybody, welcome back to Starkey Form Says. My name is Samantha. I'm sitting in the bathroom because it is storming outside and my husband wants a few minutes of peace. Go figure, right? He lives with me, he doesn't get much. So I'm in the bathroom and I saw something that just kind of blew my mind. It is the fact that across our college university campuses, again, you've got students burning things, rallying, crying, protesting. And what they're protesting is that a little over 300 green card visa holders are losing their visa rights because they are pro-Hamas. They are actually the people starting the protest. They are the connections to the Islamic terror groups in their home countries. And nobody really wants to talk about that. They want you to believe that this is a freedom of speech and or another Hitler situation.
At this point, we all have heard the story about Mahmoud Khalil, but Columbia University is working directly with ICE to target their students. They are purposefully targeting their students, and they are not the only university doing this. I want to be so fucking clear. These students are here legally. These students are here legally, and they have committed no crimes. They are having their F1 and student visas revoked because the administration doesn't like their political stances. And since conservatives have somehow forgotten any part of the Constitution, free speech, the First Amendment, applies to everyone. If you have a visa, if you're a permanent resident, if you're a natural-born citizen, doesn't fucking matter. They are targeting people for detention and deportation because of their political opinions.
So this is where I begin to really disagree with her. So they are not going after people for their political opinions. Because remember, in the beginning of this video, I showed you that 1.1 million student visas are granted in this country in 2023 through 2024. And only 300 have been revoked. So it isn't that you have a difference in opinion, or you're a different ethnicity, or you have a different religion. It is because you are radicalized. That is what is getting these students caught up. It is these students who are out there causing serious issues on our college campuses
because of their social media posts. It's not even just people that have attended protests. There was a student who just posted her experience at Columbia University, who self-deported, if you will, to Canada for her own safety, who said that she had been to like a minor protest that wasn't on campus, but had posted her opinions online. She was targeted by ICE for days. They called pretending to be a university survey to confirm that they had her address and then harassed her at her front door for days. The university refused to help her.
But that makes no sense because you just told us that she self-deported to Canada for her own safety. So then how did ICE bang on her front door and harass her? Folks, you have to really listen to these people because in that situation, I think that's probably a totally made up story.
There's a student at Tufts who just went through virtually the exact same experience as Mahmoud Khalil, down to the same detention center. She's also now in Louisiana. They moved her across state lines without a warrant, without actual charges, and after canceling her visa because of her utilizing her free speech to back the BDS movement.
So this is perfectly legal, folks. It actually falls under this act. And look what it says they can actually do. If you are against one of our allies or adversarially, going against what's best for our country and national security, we can take away your visa and deport you, which means once they revoke your visa, you have no rights. You're just basically like a criminal. They don't need a warrant. They don't need to tell you what's going to happen next. They just pick you up, put you into a center, and then deport you home. Completely, totally legal.
Free speech is dead. And if you think that there is something stopping them from expanding this to citizens, you're dumb. They will. We are next.
You know what's dumb? Is that during 2024, you guys made it illegal to misgender someone or force a biological male to use a biological male's bathroom because we might accidentally offend them. So if you want to talk about free speech, sweetie, then we need to talk about how Joe Biden blew that out of the water, how the left was totally okay with forcing people to play dress up with mentally ill adults in America. Talk about free speech. Did you know that YouTube can demonetize people like me if I bring up topics they don't want me to talk about, which they have done? You know why? Because they're a privately owned company. That's why. So if you guys would like to support our channel to see more videos like this or help us get to go see our soldier before he deports to the Middle East in a couple of weeks in El Paso, it's linked in the top of comments. We'd be greatly appreciative for anything that you send. Thank you so much for helping us to be able to continue breaking down the lies and lunatic insanity of
And
the
we
left.
have to make a stand against this. Not only is this illegal, unconstitutional, it is straight out of Nazi Germany's playbook.
And here is where it really makes me angry. You're talking about people who were anti-Jew, pro-Hamas, being in our country chanting from the river to the sea. Okay? Free, free Palestine. Kill the Jews. You guys literally chanted that nonsense. And then you're going to say that this is illegal, which, again, is completely and totally legal to take their visas and deport them. But what really upsets me is that you think a detention center that looks like this, has a locker under the bed, has a mattress, has a pillow, has a blanket, it's neat, it's clean, is somehow the same as this, or this, or this. There's no comparison between a concentration camp and a detention center for someone who has overwhelmed their stay.
They are sending people to camps because of opinions.
Nope. No emotion here, just facts. We're sending people who have overstayed their welcome for their radicalized Islamic beliefs, for their desire to hurt innocent people. We're taking their student visas, putting them in a detention center where we can keep them safe from harm. And we're putting them on an airplane, sending them back to their country where they can go home and do whatever they want. It's a big difference. a really, really big difference. Folks, I hope this video helps you be able to discuss this topic with people like this young lady who are obviously brainwashed and over emotional to the point that they're making broad characterizations that are ignorant, uneducated, and harmful to the truth. Because the truth of it is, millions of Jews were killed horrendously in concentration camps. And if the left was still controlling America today, we would be well on our way to having another Hitler situation, because under Biden and Kamala Harris, they did not revoke one student visa for everything that happened across our college campuses. They did nothing to protect American and or Jewish students at our schools. They did nothing, folks. God bless you guys. Love y'all. Like, comment, subscribe, share this video to educate someone.
And if we've given you a visa and then you decide to do that, we're going to take it away. I encourage every country to do that, by the way, because I think it's crazy to invite students into your country that are coming onto your campus and destabilizing it. We're just not going to have it. So we'll revoke your visa, and once your visa is revoked, you're illegally in the country and you have to leave. Every country in the world has a right to decide who comes in as a visitor and who doesn't. If you invite me into your home because you say, I want to come to your house for dinner, and I go to your house and I start putting mud on your couch and spray painting your kitchen, I bet you're going to kick me out. Well, we're going to do the same thing if you come into the United States as a visitor and create a ruckus for us. We don't want it. We don't want it in our country. Go back and do it in your country. But you're not going to do it in our country.
And surprise, surprise, my friend, the radical left and their lunatic counterparts online have been decrying these deportations, outraged, calling it anti-free speech, which is laughably 180 degrees out of phase. Riots, taking over campus buildings, blocking roads, stopping people from freely traveling, like the idiots in Los Angeles, constantly blocking the freeways. All of these things are not free speech at all. But aside from that, what makes this even more delicious and rich, to me anyway, is these are the same a-holes who have been all about cancel culture, the depersoning of anyone who doesn't adhere to their goose-stepping cult. Step out of line when it comes to the trans issue, that's it. You don't belong online. You don't belong with a job. You need to go pay penance somewhere, maybe be thrown in jail forever.